WP in a future where every global issue only got worse and never better, optimism has left the public consciousness, and mental health services have largely collapsed due to strain. You try to find things in life that challenge total hopelessness. Do you know what my wife said to me this morning? Greg whined, adjusting his unkempt shirt and tie on my moldy couch. Outside my office window, the smog was so thick it looked like we were submerged in tear gas. Doc, are you listening? I'm listening, Greg, I lied, staring at a water stain on the ceiling that I was sure was another clogged pipe. Well, she looked me dead in the eye and said, Greg, I've fallen completely out of love with you. No, that's wrong. I don't think I've ever been in love with you. He paused, waiting for my sympathetic nod. I couldn't believe it, but then she said she isn't leaving. Do you know why? Because she thought about it and decided there just isn't anyone better out there. She said that even though I was terrible, she was sure the guys out there would be worse or exactly the same. I don't know what to feel, Doc. Greg kept talking and talking and talking until his voice became a droning mosquito of petty grievances in a world that was literally on fire. Like everything. The economy, the environment, the world all burning right before our eyes. I squeezed my eyes shut. Breathe in the filtered oxygen you must share with this man, I told myself, and breathe out the despair. But the despair found itself backed up in my throat. Has anyone ever asked, hey, how do you feel, counselor? No, it's all me. And then she complained about the noise I make while chewing, and... Greg, stop, I snapped, standing up so fast my creaking chair tipped over. Do you know what's wrong with you? What's wrong with the world? He blinked. Doc, you are what is wrong with the world, I roared, throwing my clipboard against the reinforced wall. The ice caps are gone, the sky is brown and disgusting, and you are crying because your wife is settling for you out of convenience. Are you serious, Greg? Are you actually serious? Get out of my office. Greg sat frozen in place, his mouth agape. His stunned silence and inaction immediately annoyed me. In that moment, I realized I didn't want to wait for him to move for another second. Instead, I grabbed my battered suitcase from under the desk, sweeping my meager belongings into it frantically. They included several bottles of prescription pills and a framed photograph of a panda climbing a tree. I've never actually seen one in person, the tree, I mean. But this photo was obviously fake. The idiot who edited the animal was incompetent. Couldn't he draw a more believable creature? Alongside this obvious forgery was my completely useless medical license obtained with unpaid student loans. Actually, you know what? Stay, I said, snapping the suitcase shut with the items inside. I'm the one who's leaving. I quit. Enjoy waiting a decade for another appointment with a professional. I hear they only take in patients now with all the demand. I marched out the door, the absurdity of my situation hitting me in the hallway. Why hadn't I done this years ago? I was working a miserable job for a salary paid in fiat currency that was practically as fictional as that panda. Money was completely useless anyway. The local grocery vendor only accepted worthless crap. Sometimes it was 1,000,000 pieces of that same worthless crap. Other times it was whatever happened to be conveniently around. Even they didn't seem to care what they got. Stepping out into the acidic drizzle, I realized I was officially unemployed in a dying, entirely hopeless world. My career was over. My bank account was a joke. The banks themselves were a joke, and society was circling down the drain. But as I walked past the crumbling concrete of long-abandoned skyscrapers, unburdened by Greg and his marital malaise for the first time in months, I felt a strange, rebellious urge. I needed to find one thing, just one stupid thing that defied the misery of this world. I don't know what I'd call it, but if I find it, I'd know. If only to spite Greg and his wife.